welcome back. Well, it's another one of these cases that we're dealing with. These sex abuse cases, we'll just come out and say it. And it seems like there's a lot of them lately. I think they've always been there, but they've been hidden. People have been shunned because of bringing them forth. So here we're going to talk about an Arabian Spanish congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. And I didn't know much about the Spanish congregation until I looked at this article. I started searching it a bit. And I went to their website and I searched Arabian congregation. Nothing came up. I couldn't find anything. But what did come up in Canada here is that it's its own congregation, Arabic Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, Toronto, Ontario. And I was looking at this Canada Helps and how easy they make it to donate to these charities. I'm just going to move off the page here. And they make it really easy to donate. You can donate now. You can donate monthly. You can donate securities even. You know, they make it so easy to go about and donate. And each Kingdom Hall in Canada, I believe, has one of these pages that comes up on the internet. So this is a huge thing when we think of these charities that are just sucking money out of us and they don't have any kind of an impact on what's going on. Now, these guys are trying to show an impact. You can show their impact, but there's nothing here. These guys show 000. There's nothing. They're not a transparent organization anywhere. But you know what this told me is that any of these language congregations, it's another reason. They might be sharing the same building, but they are forming various congregations or various charities because in the big world of things, people or businesses or companies will just blanket donate evenly to all the religions. They'll get donations going out. So Watchtower gets a lot of donations coming from who knows where by being listed as charities. And this is why we have a petition here to stop this religion from being registered as a charity in Canada because of its shunning abuse and the abuse on children. Now, we're going to look at how it hides abuse on children. This is a lawsuit alleging from the 90s molestation, and the Indio Church withstands dismissal. So Jehovah's Witnesses tried to dismiss this. This was back in January of this year. They tried to throw it out. And the judge said no. They denied the churches or the Watchtower's request to throw this out. So the case is one of many that can be brought as a California has suspended the statute of limitations for sexual abuse cases. So in California, they've suspended that limitation. And so more and more of these cases are coming forth. So the plaintiff and the defendants are not named in the court's documents. So the defendant's attorney, that's the Watchtower's attorney, the plaintiff would be the victim. So the defendant's attorney says they represent that's the Watchtower, they represent the Arabia Spanish congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. So that's the defendant. So the defendant is the Watchtower, and it's that particular congregation. They split it all into companies, remember? Now, the defendant generally denied the suit's allegations in their answers to the complaint. So that's the Watchtower. That's what they normally do. They deny it. And in a demurrer, some of the defendants had argued that the plaintiff's factual claims did not indicate the defendants knew about the abuse, meaning they would not be held liable for them. That was kind of how Watchtower is trying to get out of this. So Klatcho disagreed and found that accepting the plaintiff's allegations would indicate that the defendants would have known about the abuse. In other words, the Watchtower knew about these things. So the complainant says a plaintiff's brother had been abused on a daily basis for 3 years. and that 2 defendants had witnessed the offending church leader, that would be an elder, right? Kingdom Hall elder, church leader, take the plaintiff's brother into the congregation bathroom for extended periods of time, and he did not investigate. So these allegations show, or it can be inferred from these allegations, that doe number 1 knew or had noticed that doe number 3 had a history of sexual abuse of minors or propensity to engage in sexual misconduct. And this is sufficient for pleading purposes to establish knowledge, the judge wrote, or Klatcho wrote. Now, a defendant had also moved to strike the complaint on the claims that the conduct after the alleged abuse cannot be a legal cause of harm. So Watchtower is trying to get it thrown out on this. And then Klatcho found that no part of the complaint contains allegations of conduct after the alleged abuse. So the judge left it. It said no. Okay, so the defendant, the Watchtower, argued that it should not be held responsible for not reporting it, and that the state did not require mandatory reporting of sexual assault at the time of the alleged abuse. Watchtower is always trying to get out of that, right? So doe number 1 also provided no legal authority supporting its contention that it did not have the duty to report child sexual abuse, and it had not demonstrated that the allegations about its obligation to report abuse are irrelevant, false, or improper as a matter of law, Klatcho wrote. So this is how Watchtower is trying to get the elders out. So here's the allegation. The complaint says that in 1987, the church required elders, overseers, employees, and staff not to inform the police about suspected child abuse, to destroy evidence of the abuse, and not to inform other congregations about the alleged abuse of the transferred employees. So in other words, the Watchtower moves its employees, its elders around, overseers. They get moved from congregation, and no one knows that these guys are pedophiles. No one knows. All the records are destroyed. There was that big thing to destroy all the records all over. They had a big mandate. And now we see in Montana, all the records are gone. They're getting charged for destroying records in Montana. They're getting all kinds of infractions and charges. Sanctions, they call them. They just got a $52,000 sanction there because they couldn't produce records. So it's showing up all over, folks. This is in California. It's showing up that it's become a common fact that Jehovah's Witnesses have destroyed the records pertaining to CSA to cover up child sex abuse. That's a known fact. That is written down in the history annals of this system that we live in. You go to Wikipedia right now, there's a whole section just under Jehovah's Witnesses and their cover-ups of child sex abuse. That's how this is well known. So well known. The only people on this earth that don't know anything about it are its members, because the members are brainwashed not to look outside of the Watchtower. And I go into the Watchtower, there's no mention of these congregations. No mention at all. Okay, so we all know that they destroyed evidence, and they don't inform other congregations of these pedophiles that move around. Now, the church even mandated that if a wrongdoer and or child abuser, such as their defendant that they're fighting for, were to admit to the abuse, then no one should be present during the admittance except for the members of the select committee, who would provide the report to the church. That's to the Bethel. They'd send it into the service desk now, in a sealed envelope, and destroy, this is it, folks, destroy all other evidence, the complaint said. And this is what's happening. So the plaintiff was sexually assaulted by the leader of his Bible study group from 1988, and when he was 10 years old to 1993, the complaint says. And when the plaintiff's brother reported his own sexual abuse to the elders, to the church, and the other defendants, they did not take any action to investigate or discipline the employee or the elder. They kept the elder as a leader of the Bible studies. This is what the complaint says. And the complaint brings 4 cases of actual sexual assault of a minor, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent hiring, negligent supervision and retention, and negligence. This is what Watchtower is being charged with. Negligence from every angle. So this case information is from Beverly Hills. This is Michelle Carney, Simona Dinesh, and Michelle Amaro of Beverly Hills, representing the plaintiffs. That's the good guys. And Beth Can and Matthew Richardson of Los Angeles is representing the Jehovah's Witnesses, the bad guys here. Okay, well, that's it. That's how it reads, folks. And that's the end of the Montana situation. So now or not the Montana, but the California situation. I'm sorry. So this is the suit alleging the 1990s molestation of the Indo Church. And this withstands a dismissal. Watchtower, their dismissals are not working. Watchtower's dismissals, the courts are rejecting them. The courts know that Watchtower has destroyed records to cover up. So this is becoming a common thing, folks. We're going to see more and more of this, and we'll keep reporting on it as it comes out. So until next time, folks, keep living your day with love. Bye for now. Thanks again for watching. We appreciate your comments, your dislikes, and your likes. If you would like to support the channel, just press join and buy us a coffee once a month. Until next time, keep dancing, smiling, laughing, and most of all, keep loving those around you. And have a great day.
Produced by Fixing My Faith.